There's quite a lot to talk about as far as the world of technology and gadgets has gone. The big one for me that's very interesting, Android users now crossing over to the dark side. Let's bring in tech journalist Kyle Venktes joining us this morning. Kyle, hello. We'll also talk about Fitbit accounts and Twitter, TikTok, but we'll get there in a moment. More importantly, World War III is about to be unleashed. Why does Android want to steal our cool ideas on iOS? What's happening?
So basically, we know, Gareth, very often we know that people aspire to own the latest iPhone. And with that comes a whole batch of features which Apple deem are the latest innovations, which people definitely want to get their hands on. So what we're seeing now is that as soon as there's a new feature that is launched, like, for example, the new iPhone 14 came with the dynamic island feature, which is basically a little icon at the top of your display to give you extra notifications and give your smartphone just a little bit more of an aesthetic appeal. So it's really handy for looking at quick notifications without them being too intrusive. And so obviously Android users now have seen this feature and are very interested by it. And there've been a whole batch of developers who have now created a version of the dynamic island for Android users. And what we've noticed is it's not just a regular feature, because there are millions of people downloading this app from Android app stores to be able to use this iPhone feature on their devices. So that's quite interesting. I mean, look, we'll always see iPhone being, one of the premium smartphones, but Android users will always try to get their hands on something as close to it, if not the device that they really want.
So what we're hearing, as is normally the case, is those who use iPhones are the envy, and those who use Android are just stealing the ideas that iPhone users are using. Well, it sounds about normal for Android users. Let's talk Fitbit before we talk about TikTok. What is happening to Fitbit? Is this a case of bye-bye Fitbit?
Not exactly, Gareth. What we know is earlier this year, Google actually purchased Fitbit as a company. And what we understand from what Google has said about this is that they've done this purely because of the premium devices that Fitbit offer. So what we know is that people who own Fitbit devices have their own accounts which are linked to Fitbit. But because Google has taken over now, by next year or the year that follows, there will be no more Fitbit accounts. This means that everyone who has a Fitbit account will be migrated to Google eventually. And I think this option will become available to Fitbit users quite early on, but it's kind of inevitable because Fitbit users are going to have to make that switch.
So it's almost a case of moving into the future as soon as Google gets their hands on it as well. And I think this is going to be very interesting. Is this Twitter going to TikTok, or is this TikTok going to Twitter, or is it just an amalgamation of both, or is it just simply copy and paste? What's your views on this Twitter now having TikTok-style videos?
So, Gareth, what we know is, ever since TikTok had launched globally, it's become a phenomenal success. And what it's really done is been a platform to actually, just enhance short-form video for people and make it a lot more entertaining for people. So with that being said, TikTok has a very user-friendly display, which people can easily scroll through videos and these short-form videos to consume this content. And what we see is that after TikTok had been launched, there have been a lot of social media platforms which have now borrowed cues from TikTok to basically enhance their short-form video experience. And one of these platforms is obviously Twitter. So Twitter recently revamped their video display and their short-form video display in particular. And it's adopted more of that scroll that we're used to seeing on TikTok. But Twitter isn't the first platform. We also saw Instagram do this with Reels, and we see short form videos making themselves very visible on platforms like Facebook.
So it looks like, once again, trying to get the market over from the TikTok side over to Twitter and adopting it. I don't think it's ever going to be quite the same as TikTok, but Twitter are going to give it a go. Hashtag give it a go. See what happens.